What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. It is your boy D Dyson. I know I'm in a different location as I am having a lot of renovations done to my home, but I had to get these out. I have to. It is a must. Lovecraft Country. Oh my God. When I say that this is bar none the best show I have seen in all of 2020. Literally, the best show of 2020. And when I say that in every aspect of the word, from the source material, from having a twist on it, because from my understanding from people in the comments, I didn't get a chance to read the books, but understanding how H.P. Lovecraft was a severe racist and how the editor of Lovecraft Country took that and made a plot twist and made it where the horrors of H.P. Lovecraft novels was about white people. And it's so relevant to this day with all the police brutality and everything going on with racism, that it's just affluent running through our country, because that is what the country is built on. And when I say that I loved every single episode, because just like in my trailer reactions, I just knew that it would be sci-fi, horror, historical elements, a lot of magic. And when I say that, I've never seen it beautifully crafted before, where you just, you can't even explain to somebody what is Lovecraft Country about. You'd be like, man, look, series of different adventures set in the 1950s, dealing with magic. You should check it out. Magic, monsters, everything. I loved it. And you have what does that do? Jonathan Majors. You have Jonathan Majors as Atticus, aka Tick. You have Journey Smollett as Letty, and a number of great casts. I really can't think off the top of my head. I know I should have did the research beforehand, but I love this cast of Lovecraft Country, because it just made you feel like you were a part of their family, their journey, understanding what to do and dealing with magic, and trying to figure out from episode 1, when they go on the road trip down south to actually go to Lovecraft, around Lovecraft Country, and just basically going down to the south to find out their heritage and their inheritance. Because later on you're finding out that Atticus family has been generational, just a part of magic ever since slavery, and their blood is needed to complete these rituals to be immortal. And that's that's pretty much the synopsis of this whole show. And you have Christina, whose father was that sleek type of guy. He had hidden traits of, I don't want to go into too many underlying themes, but when they finally reached their destination about being in the South, that their father took him in, but they did all kinds of magic to him to understand that, hey, yes, this is the lineage of this line, and you need their blood. So that's why ever since then he was kind of setting out to try some way to kill him in some type of way, but have them understand, like, hey, look, you are part of this lineage, you are part of this family, so we need your blood. And then Christina is more so power hungry, to be like, it shouldn't be in the hands of a white man, when as a white woman I can take it and do better, because she wants to climb up that chain too. Because just like in Ruby's character, and I loved how they crafted with Ruby, when Ruby was, it tripped me out to say that was crazy, how they use magic to turn into a white woman, how Christina turned into I guess that was her brother, like a white man, to manipulate and find her ways, and going through trying to get to whatever she can get to. And that's why I love this, because it was beautifully crafted. Along the way, you had elements such as Emmett Till, and then showing that Emmett Till was name was Bobo, but it was showing what happened to him as far as, when they were playing the Ouija board at Letty's house party, and was like, hey, I'm going down south. Am I going to have a good time? And then the Ouija board told him no. And then you fast forward to like episode 7 or 8, where you have Emmett Till or Bobo's death, and then how it was just so outraged in Chicago about his murder. And you just seen all the elements. Also, you go into Tulsa 1921, which is always known as the Black Wall Street, meaning that this black city, had everything they needed to survive, and then just based off racism and hate, that white people came through and did a full-on massacre and burned everything down because they just did not want to see a black economic city working on their own. They were upset about that. So that's why I said, I'm like, there's a lot of underlying racial tones in this, but it plays into the hands of magic, and that's why I like it so much. Like, you can see how things were just unraveling in front of your eyes, and then understanding that different elements from Tick and his journey, especially, being in the Korean War and falling in love with Jihad, where Jihad was a damn succubus. And that's like a monster or demon that takes men's souls. And that's why I was like, man, that's crazy. And you see her fold, and you see what she becomes. And that's why I tell myself it was just so much to unpack with each episode. You had exorcisms in this. You had a lot. And that's why I said, I'm like, I was not ready for the ride to be over because it was just so much going on. But I'm glad at the end you had the season finale where everything kind of plays full circle. Another thing that really scared me about that was, I guess, like the jigaboos, like the little demons dancing. Like, that was to me one of the most scariest episodes of this whole series, along with the exorcism. But I just feel like that was the absolute most scariest episode. But it was bearable, though. That's why I said, I'm like, it's bearable to a point, then it's like, oh my gosh, but it's still bearable. That's why I know I'm jumping around a whole lot, but I just tell myself the different themes that they had about this, with generational curses, generational pain. You see at Montrose, which is Atticus's father, finding out that he is he's gay, he's homosexual, and he's been like that his whole life. Even his wife knows, and Atticus's mom knows, and you just see why he was so broken as far as being Atticus's father. He beat him a lot. He physically abused him, because you go back to that Tulsa episode, I think episode 9, where you see Montrose being abused by his father because he's finding out that he's gay. He just kind of exiled him. So it was just a lot to unpack in this, and you just seen how they're literally breaking generational curses. And that's why I said, I'm like, that's an underlying theme that a lot of black people suffer to this day with so much traumatic experiences passed down from lines and lines of lineage through so many different ancestors that we've been having. So that's why I said I love this to so much degree. HBO has done a wonderful job with just having black people at the forefront of good television, from Insecure to Watchmen, and now you have Lovecraft Country. I really give this a 10 out of 10. If this was Jeremy Jahns, it would be awesome-tacular. If this was Tyrone Magnus, it'll be 5 out of 5 woos. And if this was Chris Stuckman, this would be an A+ in my book. It's a 10 out of 10. I encourage everyone to watch Lovecraft Country. I don't care what race you are, but I just loved how this came about. I really hope that this is another season that can play into different races and different themes. I know that the creator was talking about that, because I believe that this is a limited series, and I feel like this is Emmy worthy, that Jonathan Majors definitely deserves an Emmy, as well as Journey Smollett. I'm like, they did a wonderful job doing and playing these roles. They brought them to life. They brought the themes of what black people has been suffering and going through for so long. So many themes. I love this, with a hint of just magical fantasy and monsters, horror, all that. I enjoyed it. So, if you guys enjoyed my reaction, or my review rather, to Lovecraft Country's official season 1, hopefully. Subscribe to my channel, post a comment down below, and like the video. It's your boy, D. Dyson. Peace.